Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Lauren Miller and this is WBOC News at 10 on Fox 21. If you shopped at Royal Farms in Queen Anne's County this week, you might want to check your bank account. David, Maryland state sheriffs we spoke with told us current laws prevent accountability, so their hands are tied. The Maryland state prosecutor found no evidence of criminal activity after investigating the chief of the Ridgely Police Department. And now those in town are asking why the entire department was suspended and when they'll be back. Convey 911 connects operators and callers with a translator within seconds, regardless of their spoken language. It's where Congressman Andy Harris is hosting his watch party that begins at 8 p.m. tonight. But let's get into that race, which is Maryland's first congressional district. And we spoke with people and parents who say this morning's fog was too dense to drive. And so they ask, why wasn't there a fog delay? It just keeps rising, as you can see. Now, we drove throughout Dorchester County today, not just Cambridge, but Hoopers Island as well. Almost everyone we spoke to said they're preparing for the worst. Well, we saw some rain tonight and even heard some thunder here in Salisbury. But after the rain, WBOC's Jackie Carley sent us this beautiful photo of a double rainbow from Worcester County. This mural will literally bring the story of the Bucktown store to life. Now, this is just one of the finished pieces, but if we walk down to where the artist, Michael Rosado, is working, he's creating a three-dimensional painting where people will actually feel like they're standing in the store where Harriet Tubman once stood. The annual blessing of the combines was held in Worcester County today. When it comes to most produce stands like Trivet Farms who use the honor system, they've had a big problem with theft. But telling thieves, smile, you're on camera, they say has helped them drastically. Hey Todd, we're here at Trap Pond State Park, and if you look right above my head is the Toys for Tots tent, and it's what you all are going to be looking for when you come to donate your Toys for Tots. Is you're actually going to be looking for the campground store. But as I walk you through this beautiful campground, we're going to be looking for Outdoors Delmarva's Jason Lee. He's the one who's going to be camping out all weekend long, waiting for your donations.
WBOC's Lauren Miller joins us live from that scene near Easton. And Lauren, you say only a few crews there are still left.
Steve, this investigation is still very much active and ongoing. As you can see the caution tape right behind me. Now, when we arrived here around 11 a.m., we saw several crews in the water and on land. To list a few, the Coast Guard, Maryland Department of Natural Resources, even the Anne Arundel County Fire Department dive team. We also saw crews here on the midshore, emergency services, fire departments, sheriff's office from Talbot, Caroline, and Dorchester counties. From land, we could see the tail of the plane next to the orange buoy. It was a University Research Foundation's plane, used for research sampling.
It belonged to us for 30 years. The pilot was a consultant hire who had flown with us during COVID over New York and done atmospheric sampling when no airlines were flying. He did many hours in our airplane.
But his assignment today was a trip to the Easton Airport.
This mission was to take the airplane where it was located at our hangar at Fort Meade at Tipton Airport and relocate it over at Easton. So this was a ferry flight, essentially.
An Easton neighbor tells us she saw and heard the plane pass overhead.
And I heard the plane come over the trees here, and it was sputtering, and then it was just kind of coasting super quiet. And I remember being kind of impressed with whoever the pilot was, because there was no erratic movement. It was just moving, and then the engine started sputtering again, like he was trying to get it to start.
Elena Russo with the Maryland State Police says there is no report on what exactly went wrong with the plane.
Our investigators as well will be working with the NTSB and FAA in combing through the 911 calls that came from the ground from witnesses. They will be looking at any communication between the pilot and their control systems to find out, what did happen. Was it something that happened with the plane? Was it something that happened with the pilot? We just don't know at this point.
An ongoing investigation leaving many unanswered questions. Now, we were just told a few moments ago by MSP that right now they are lifting the plane out of the water for further investigation. They'll be moving it to a separate location. MSP investigators and, of course, the FAA will be looking into this. For now, live in Easton, Lauren Miller, WBOC News, Delmarva's news leader. Here is what the Dorchester County Historical Society knows. It is motorized with 2 of what is believed to be rolling pins spinning, and its countertop is ceramic. But what it actually is, or what it was used for, is raising suspicion with the Society's executive director, Zoe Phillips.
So we think that it is something that has been here since the 90s.
She says it could be around 100 years old, minus the motor, of course. But where did it come from? Records show a similar contraption was a gift from the Rehoboth Beach Historical Society.
And I was wondering if I could ask someone some questions about an old artifact we have.
But no pictures prove the exact donation. And as they wait for an answer, one idea, however, comes to mind.
We potentially think it is a Maryland Beaten biscuit maker, created by a man who was trying to help his aunt with the business, and the belief is that this would have helped beat the air out of the dough as the biscuits were being created.
According to Phillips, Maryland beaten biscuits were a well-known and unique food because they were originally beaten with an axe on an old tree stump.
So it is very unusual in its history of how it was made, and this would have been a far stretch from that, but it would have served the same purpose and gotten it done in a more industrialized way.
Yet they are still asking the public what this could be. In Dorchester County, Lauren Miller, WBOC News, Delmarva's News Leader. Steve, it was around here on Walston Switch Road when 15-year-old Austin Broadwater was skateboarding home. He was only about a mile away from his home when he was hit. This is Austin Broadwater, a Wycomico High student. His father, Jason Broadwater, is sitting by his son's bedside at Shock Trauma in Baltimore. He says Austin would frequently ride his skateboard to Royal Farms up the road after dinner.
Around 8 o'clock, after dinner, Austin said he wanted to roll down to the store. I told him, hey man, it'll be dark soon. Gotta watch out for that.
Jason and his wife went for a walk and noticed Austin was not back yet.
My older son comes walking down the hallway and says, Austin's not back yet? I'm surprised. So my wife calls Austin's phone, see where he is. Hey, if you're down at the store, we'll come get you, or whatever it is, or come on back now. But the person that answered Austin's phone was a state trooper.
Austin was a victim of a hit and run. Right now, he is suffering from a brain injury, a fractured pelvis and shoulder blade, a bruised kidney, and road rash. His father says he's been able to open his eyes, but he has a message for the driver.
This person left my son for dead in the road. I would urge this person to turn themselves in.
Because this is an active investigation, Wycomico County Sheriff's Office could not give us a description of any suspect vehicle. However, they say they do have leads.
We're getting calls and social media posts, so people are commenting, and we're following up on those leads right now.
They urge anyone with information to contact them in Salisbury. Lauren Miller, WBOC News, Delmarva's News Leader.